Welcome to class. Today's lesson is over how to compare and order integers using a number line. So in this activity, touch the nose. Oh, arrow. Touch the nose. All right, it doesn't work. All right, I would like you to look at today's number, which is absolute value of -15, and as you see, the negatives on the outside, opposite of the absolute value of 15. I would like you to come up at least two ways the numbers are alike, and at least two ways the numbers are different. So let me get out my pen. I'll use red. How are they alike? Well, they both use 15. They're both about absolute value. How are they different? Alike. They both have a negative. They're different is the negative sign. Different location. What do I mean by that? In here, the negative sign is inside the absolute value bar, but in here it's on the outside. What is the absolute value of -15? In other words, what is the distance of -15 to 0 on the number line? So here's a number line right here. If you see -15, it'll be right here. It'll be 15 units away from 0. What is the opposite of the absolute value of 15? How far is 15 units from 0? 15. The opposite is -15. So they have different values. And that is what I observe. So today you're going to have an open number line. What you're going to do is you're going to create this open number line on your desk or on a whiteboard using a dry erase marker or a cleaning cloth. So the first thing is I would like you to draw this number line. Please put 0 in the center. Then I would like you to locate, where would you put -2 on your number line? Where would you put 3 on your number line? Where would you put -4 on this number line? Can you name an integer greater than -2? Where would you put that on the number line? Can you name a whole number? So think back your vocabulary, name a whole number. What is the absolute value of 3? Can you name an integer less than -2? And what is the opposite of 5? All right, so let's see what you put down. Let's see. 3. Well, let's see. You know, I'm going to put a -1 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So 3 goes here. Done. -4 goes here because remember you count backward. Oh, so I need to put a dot. So this is 3. This is -4. Name an integer greater than -2. What about 5? Name a whole number. 6. It could be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. What's the absolute value of 3? It is 3 because it is 3 units away from 0. So what's the opposite of 5? Well, here's 5. What's on the opposite side? -5. Name an integer less than -2. Here's -2. Would these numbers be less or more? These are greater. These are positive. I believe that let's try -3. -3 is less than -2. It is to the left of -2. And so what you're going to be doing is so now that we have practiced with an open number line, we're going to be practicing walk the line. And walk the line, I'm going to ask some questions. I'm going to have two students stand at 3. I'll have a student stand at 3 and a student stand at 5. Which integer is greater, 3 or 5? Well, hopefully it'll say 5 because it's 5 spaces from 0 and 3 is 3 spaces from 0. How do you know? You have $5 more than $3. Which integer is greater, 4 or -2? Well, here's 4 spaces. Here's -2. So is it because it's 4 is 4 spaces from 0 and -2 is only 2 spaces? Is that why it's greater? Or positive is always greater than negative? Which integer is greater, -1 or -4? Here's -1, here's -4. Well, this is 4 spaces from 0 and this is 1 space. So I mean -4 must be greater. Let's use a real life scenario. If it is -1 degrees and -4 degrees outside, which one is colder? -4. If you are doing points and you lost 1 point and someone lost 4 points, who is greater? Someone who only lost 1 point is greater. So how do you know which integer is greater? Well, a number line goes from least to greatest. The number line goes from least to greatest. The least numbers are on the left side of a number line if it's horizontal, and the greatest numbers are on the right side, the positive number of a number line. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to locate and plot -9, 3, -1, 0, -10, and 7. Now order these from least to greatest. So the least one is -10, -9, -1, 0, 3, 7. By using a number line, it makes it more visually easier to see the integers from least to greatest. Again, integers are whole numbers and its opposite, which are negative. What about this one? Let's make it a little tougher. Absolute value of -6. What's the absolute value of -6? How far is -6 from 0? 6 spaces. So it's right here. 7, -2, -4. What's the absolute value of 9? How far is 9 from 0? 9 spaces. What's the absolute value of -1? How far is -1 from 0? 1 space. So put them from least to greatest. -4, -2, 1, 6, 7, 9. What happened if I ask you put it from greatest to least? 9, 7, 6, 1, -2, -4. Now I want you to locate and plot 2 degrees, -9 degrees, 6 degrees, -1 degrees, 7 degrees, and 0 degrees. Now order them from least to greatest. So in this number line, where would you find the greatest number? Right here. And the least number would be right here. So the least number is -9, then -1, then 0, then 2, then 6, then 7. Name the coldest temperature. -9. How do you know? Well, we know it can't be positive. And the least number would be right here on the bottom of the thermometer. And so is the most negative number away from 0. The farthest negative number from 0. That's why it's the coldest. So in elementary school, you learn something called you may have called it the alligator sign, but we don't use that. We use the less than and more than. So we're going to help determine which one. So if you have a number line of -5 and 7, which one would be greater? 7 is greater. So -5 is less or more? Less than 7. So it goes here. 8, what's 6 divided by 2? Or 6 halves? 3. Which one's greater, 8 or 3? 8. 8 is less or more than 3. 0 and negative 9. Which one would be greater? On the number line, if you look at this number line right here, 0 is greater than negative 9. So 0 is more than negative 9. And negative 9, negative 5. Which one's greater? Negative 9, looking at this number line, and negative 5. Negative 9 is less than negative 5. So next part is you will have 4 word problems to work on. You will be working with a partner. So, and then we'll pass it around and see how you did. Some record low temperatures for Fraser, Colorado during the month of January are listed. Order the temperatures from coolest to warmest. Let's get the highlighter. Coolest to warmest. If that had a number line, which one would be the most, like, think of a number line right here. This would be like really cold. Here's 0, so it's the most negative number away from 0. So the most negative one would be, the coldest would be negative 46. Then what's the most negative furthest from 0? Negative 38. Then negative 31. Then whoops, sorry, negative 38, then negative 37, then negative 31, then negative 29, then negative 23, and then negative 21. Coolest to warmest. Think of a thermometer. Problem number 2. Some average high temperatures for Minneapolis, Minnesota during various months are shown in the table. Order them from warmest. So if this is cold, opposite of cold is warm. So we're looking for the most positive number of all. Well, it's 5, then 4. So which one is closer to the positive side? Negative 3, negative 6, negative 2. Negative 2, negative 3, then negative 6. If you look at this thermometer right here, you'll see negative 2, negative 3, negative 6. Order them from greatest to least. Well, the greatest will be the most positive of all. So positives are 5 and 3. 0 is neither positive or negative. Then which negative of these 4 is closer to 0? Negative 2, negative 8, negative 15, negative 17. And last but not least, put these from least to greatest. Least. Which one is the most negative number farthest from 0? Which negative is farthest from 0? Let's look at negative 380 is pretty far from 0. Then negative 308. Then negative 37. Then negative 32. Then 35. The positive number, 35 is the least positive. Then 304 to 330. So in this lesson, in your own words, how did you compare and order the set of numbers? What did you do? I drew a number line. It helped me out. The integer to the right of the other number on the number line will always be greater. That's how you know it. And that's the study of compare and order integers.